Scorpio, thank you for stopping by and welcome to your 2015 forecast. The beginning of the year begins with a surge of energy from which you can see some of the themes that will be occurring throughout 2015. And as you might know, with great enthusiasm, that Saturn has now left your sign and has gone into Sagittarius. That is one of the themes that is switched. It will go back into your sign, Scorpio, for a couple of months in the summer, but as of December 23rd, it's in Sagittarius. It spends 2.5 years in any one sign. And the next 2.5 years, it's moving through a sector that is asking you to develop your own innate talents and skills in order to have more prosperity and abundance in your life. There's a continuation of a theme of changing, altering, transforming how you communicate with the world, all the little things that are needed to know. You know, what do you need to know to run the computer, to run programs that impact your work, that give you the foundation for the bigger picture. The year does begin with Jupiter up on the top of the sky here in Leo, where there's an expansion, the desire to expand, being known and being seen in the world and being recognized for what you can do, and maybe even an inner grumble about not being recognized. But this is what I can do. This is what I know I'm talented at. This is what I know I'm good at. And the grumbling, the inner grumbles of frustration. And this is clearing out those grumbles, clearing out things. That brings us to the other messenger for the year, which is, well, all the planets bring us messages, but the one that is known as the messenger is Mercury. And Mercury will go retrograde 3 times. Every year it goes retrograde 3 times. And it goes retrograde in air signs. Now, you're a water sign. Going retrograde in the air signs is highlighting the intuitive factor within you. So the intuitive factor of getting information is going to come up from you being able to develop, to know, to listen to your gut intuition, and to be able to decipher, well, I can feel, I can sense things, but what is it really telling me? The first retrograde is on January 21st in Aquarius, connected with the moon and Venus, and that energy has a depth of understanding on an intellectual and detached level how your early life impacted you either in a positive or negative way. So you can step back and not be at the throes of knee-jerk reactions in the now because of something that happened in the past. Again, it's developing your intuition. The second one is May 18th, and that retrograde goes from Gemini. And the Gemini energy is saying get information and what can happen. So what can happen during this one is that there can be some stuff that comes up, memories around childhood, some of them good, some of them not so good, and then maybe even some family issues that come up. Then in May, there's connecting again with your intuitive psychological, it's more the psychological side. And also looking at, well, what is it that I need from others in order for me to develop myself? Now, when I say from others, I'm not saying it from a selfish standpoint, but what do others know? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. The wheel has been invented. There's a book that already can tell you how to do something. You don't have to figure everything out yourself. So there's information gathering that you will find very useful for you in this Mercury retrograde, May through June. Then the third one is September 17th, and that's in Libra. And that is in the sign before yours, which is always a time of beginning to get ready for your new birthday. And that is extremely intuitive, psychic, but it is about understanding where you can mess something up because of a blind spot. Sometimes this energy, this information comes through dreams. Sometimes it comes from an aha moment in meditation. And also it's an excellent time just to go deep within and take a retreat. Take a retreat from talking. Take a retreat from the internet. Just retreat from all the mind chatter and settle yourself down. And you may find a retreat mid-September, early October that can be extremely beneficial for you. The other way to understand what's going to come up for you during 2015 is looking at the solar eclipses. The solar eclipse, March 20th, is at 29 degrees of Pisces, and that is at a fixed star called Shiat, and that is an intense star. The old texts call it the star of sorrow and suffering. I don't know about that, but there is this emotional quality to it, a deep emotional quality to it. And if you notice, so the inner wheel is where the planets are for 2015 when the sun goes into your sign, into Scorpio. That day that the sun goes into Scorpio, the south node is at that 29 degree mark of where the eclipse is on March 20th. Now, what does this mean? That even way in before your birthday, in March of this year, 2015, there's going to be an insight about realigning yourself with your soul's purpose. Now, the other thing that can happen is you could meet somebody during 2015 that feels like a past life experience, or somebody from your past where something is not complete. I never really completed that relationship. I never really got over whatever happened. There is completion that will occur this year. The next, and again, the eclipses are switching to the houses of friendship and love affairs. So if you're single, love affairs can come up. And if you're in a relationship and not happy, well, there can be some temptation around different individuals that come into your life that could maybe start off as a friend and then turn into a lover. The lunar eclipse on April 4th, this is where the eclipses have been going. This is connecting with your intuitive self, developing your spiritual side, and developing your work. The solar eclipse in the fall, September 13th, is in Virgo. Again, there's the switch of the eclipses this year. And the solar eclipse is highlighting friendships and connecting with people that you feel you belong with. Who do I belong with? The other major energy that is shifting this year is Venus is going retrograde. She goes retrograde only once every couple of years. She's going retrograde she just steps over the boundary into Virgo, then goes back into Leo. See, she goes retrograde from 0 degrees of Virgo. So barely getting into Virgo, barely getting into the sector of your world that is around reconnecting with friends, and then saying, wait a minute, let me go back and make sure that I'm doing what I need to be doing with my life, what I want to do with my life, my career. If you have a hobby that's more important to you than the job that pays the bills, then what your passion is, what you really feel passionate about. On August 11th, Jupiter goes into Virgo. Jupiter into Virgo is helping expand your circle of friends, expand your acquaintances, and you can find an opportunity to work with a group or an organization that could be very supportive in some connected way of meeting people that will allow you to shine more, allow you to get your voice, get your talent out to the world. Then Venus goes direct on September 6th from that Leo place. So work with these two things together. Friendships, your circle of people, social networking, other type of networking that helps you fulfill what is most important for you in terms of what you are doing. We also must look at some of the world transits that are going on. And of course, we've had a Uranus-Pluto square that I talked about, some of this energy of transformation that's been happening, and it's clicked off with a lunar eclipse in the April 4th lunar eclipse about changes. But another interesting connection is Jupiter will be opposite Neptune on September 17th, which, by the way, is the same day that Mercury's going retrograde in your house of intuition and taking some time off to go within and finding your inner peace. But Jupiter Neptune is about the big dream. What's the big dream? It's really important to dream big, but if you don't have a plan, if you can't figure out the details that need to be done, it will only stay a possibility that is never invented. Is just only invented in the mind, which is the first place, creativity, that doesn't come down to the earth form. And then what would happen is that November 26th, we have Saturn square Neptune, which we will feel that energy throughout November. So this is very important for you because it's your month. And that Saturn square Neptune energy can bring disappointment that your dreams didn't come true. And with Saturn being in your house of your own talent, that can bring prosperity. Just, do yourself a favor and figure it out and develop yourself so that you don't feel disappointed, so you don't feel all is lost or hasn't been worth it. And then we close out the year with Uranus going direct December 25th, so that those that celebrate the Christmas holidays have an extra surprise element. Uranus wants, something different presents than normal, that moves the energy into the following year. So thank you so much for being a subscriber and for sharing, and have a fabulous, wonderful, happy, healthy, prosperous new year.